Keller Williams Command brings the agent operating system and the consumer operating system together seamlessly.
Command organized everything for me and put it in one place.
When you have dominion over what you've got at your fingertips, it gives you the opportunity to grow. I was always moving between these different applications,
but none of them talk to one another. And as a result, there's lost clients, which means lost dollars.
A spreadsheet for my finances.
We had 7 or 8 different logins.
A spreadsheet for my showings reports, for my listings, my price adjustments.
It was a big time drain.
Our goal is nothing short of reinventing how people experience real estate through technology and making sure that you're the owner of that technology.
We wanted to build a platform that would connect Keller Williams agents all over the world. This technology was built by agents, directed for agents, and ultimately created to make your lives better.
We really took time with each one of the applets, getting to know how it could help us in our business, and designs was huge because it eliminated that Canva expense. We templated what is our brand going to be, and now everything is branded, it's succinct, it takes seconds to create new listing, under contract, just closed.
We use the campaigns dashboard a lot. Within the campaigns dashboard, we can send direct mailers out to neighborhoods that we farm. You just choose like an area, or you can say 123 Main Street, we want like 250 mailers to go out for just listed within a 5-mile radius, or you choose a radius. We also use the campaigns dashboard to set up social media ads and pay-per-click ads to not only be in our hyper-local area, but also farm outside to gain more territory.
The way people are shopping for homes has changed. Everything is social, everything is on the phone. So if you can't be on the phone and them have direct access to you as their agent, you're losing. You can tell a real estate agent built this app, and that's what I appreciate. If they find a property within the app and they want to ask about it, it goes directly to you.
It's a really great way of being able to connect with your client if you're using the same platform together, and I can see what they're accessing, what's interesting them, when they're clicking on things, when they're opening things. So it helps me also be more efficient how I'm working with my clients.
With smart plans, I'm allowed to set it and forget it. I don't have to worry about clients falling through the cracks.
It keeps track of things that we wouldn't otherwise think of. My clients' home anniversaries, their birthdays, the things that build that feel-good relationship with your clients, it automates. And so it makes those touches so much easier to keep track of and to make happen.
So what's really neat about Opportunities is that it will track that lead and that business through the process, not just track it in terms of steps, but also the math behind it. Every step of the way, as I get closer to a closing, I'm starting to realize those dollars. And as someone that knows pretty much every CRM out there, I've never seen this before.
For me as a team leader, I use the Opportunities dashboard the most, just looking at the numbers and seeing where we are. Conversion rates,
Average commission, we're tracking what our sales price is.
GCI, probable income, potential income, all those things are things that I'm looking at, and then ways to lead generate, ways to get more listings, ways to get more business within the team.
I can make smart business decisions based on where are we going to spend more money, where are we going to cut back, and it's all right there in one spot.
So like Gary said, when you know the right numbers, hitting the mark becomes the entire focus of the team. And so for us, when we want to know our numbers, we look at the reports dashboard to make sure that we're on track.
I could see what's on my agents' dashboards, but then I could also see how they're interacting. I could see where they're winning. I could see where they're not winning, and I could coach specifically to what it is I'm seeing. If I see a number of appointments being set and a number of appointments being held, but no listings being taken, and I have a tool that exposes that deficiency, what should I be coaching or training around?
Command has simplified our lives on the back end of running a team with a lot of moving parts and pieces and human capital. It's allowed us to go to one place to get the answers that we're looking for in almost every single facet of our business.
The cost per lead is ridiculously low. If I was spending $3,000 before, I can spend like $150 or $200 now. It's been like 95 cents a lead on Command.
One of our CRMs, we were paying as much as $2,000 a month.
I could take the money I was spending on a CRM and I could support another family by hiring somebody full-time into our organization.
We were able to cut our expenses by 50%. So moving to Command was just like a no-brainer. We can save money if we go to a free platform versus paying for one or two, right?
We
We've leveraged the technology within Command and allowed for that to enhance our business.
From A to pay, it just simplified everything.
You could tell that this was made for agents by agents.
What Keller Williams Command does better than any other system out there is it keeps you relevant and it keeps you right in the middle of the transaction and it doesn't let any detail slip by.
Real estate is about helping people with one of the most fundamental aspects of their lives, home. And you are the expert they turn to. And not just when someone buys or sells, but before, after, and all the little spaces in between. So it can be frustrating when you don't have the time or technology to know when someone needs your help. And when you miss that opportunity, it creates a gap that someone or something else can step into. So let's close that gap and give you the time and technology you need to build high-quality relationships with more people. Let's join forces and demand our technology not replace us, but help us be more human, more present, more everything. Let's take Command. Built exclusively by and for Keller Williams agents, Command is your do-it-all, do-it-quickly, people-centric, less stress, more time, end-to-end platform to grow your relationships, your pipeline, and your market share. Whew! Luckily, using it is a lot easier than explaining everything it does, but let's give it a try. Organize, customize, and sync all your contacts. Group them however you want. Know exactly who to reach out to, when, and about the things they really care about. Send personalized neighborhood-centric just-in-time marketing materials in a snap. Have more conversations, build more relationships, earn more business. Say, "Hey Kelly," and escape from your desk in the office. Add a new contact, log notes, and sync everything while on the go. Seamlessly and transparently source, send, and manage referrals through one of the world's largest and most profitable referral networks. Deploy an ROI-maximized ad campaign across Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter in like 30 seconds. Integrate the systems and tools you already use every day. Automate paperwork and background tasks. Access real-time revenue projections, end-to-end ROI insights, and goal tracking to get a bird's eye view of your business. Have more conversations, build more relationships, earn more business. Command empowers you to be a better agent by giving you more time, more value, and more freedom. And best of all, it ensures you and your relationship with your clients remain at the heart of real estate, where you belong.
We don't get it right all the time. Nobody does. Sometimes we fail, but we fail forward. A couple years ago, we started reworking the Command app. We discovered that we had real AI all along. Agent intelligence. You told us what we did wrong, so we could work to make it right. And the only way to truly get it wrong is to give up. But we didn't give up. We hired the best to make the best. We kept building for you. We broke it down, we beefed it up. We went mobile, baby. And now that it's ready, we're not finished. Let our competitors say pencils down. It's not just about where we are, it's about where we're going. And we'll keep building the platform to go anywhere that you want to go. More time, more education, more contacts, more connections, more insights, more integrations, more on the go. More simple, more success, more results, more referrals. More leads, more listings, more leverage, more wealth. More human, more often. More MREA. We wrote the book on real estate, and now we've built the tech. A bigger and better network, so you could build yours. We transformed the technology from worry to works, from From bugs to business, from doubt to double down. This is where she who controls the lead controls the industry. Take control of your database. Take control of your leads. Take control of your money. Take back control and take command. This is now an app with a fiduciary interest. An app that makes your fight personal. This is an intuitive real estate machine that learns, corrects, improves, anticipates. Just like entrepreneurs. Built for agents, by agents. This is pure Keller Williams. Made not just to keep up with you, but make you faster. Take ground, take command. This is the place, and this is the technology. Built for entrepreneurs to thrive. We did more than make it right. We made it us. Onward.
Whether you're a leader or agent, KW Command enables you to manage and grow your business through one powerful integrated platform.
A typical agent spends more than 60% of their time away from their desk. That means you have to be able to take your business wherever you go. The Command app makes it possible. When you are on the go, everything you need is right there on your phone.
You can access and manage your contacts, respond to new leads, prioritize daily tasks, and manage your opportunities, all within the Command app. Tasks are the backbone of your day. Within the Command app, you can easily add and manage tasks, then see a clear snapshot of what needs to get done when.
So your to-do list is always up to date and prioritized.
The Command app makes tracking contacts and leads easy. With built-in integrations for texting and calling, including Twilio and WhatsApp, you can effortlessly log a call or text, then instantly view it on your contact's timeline.
There is a reason Command Mobile has a 4.8 out of 5 rating in the App Store.
The Command app makes it easy to build, foster, and maintain relationships with your sphere of influence. You can assign a lead to a smart plan, add tags, and create notes, so you'll always remember what's important to your clients. You can manage your opportunities and always keep your pipeline updated. In-app and push notifications ensure you won't miss out on anything important.
Plus, the app makes it easy to manage read and unread notifications and to set reminders.
You'll always be in the know and ready for action whenever and wherever you get new info, like seeing who's requested a tour or who's inquiring about a property. Like we said, we're serious about helping you thrive.
With the Command app, everything you need is at your fingertips.
Command was created to help entrepreneurs like you thrive. Whether you're a market center leader or agent, KW Command enables you to run and grow your business through one powerful and integrated platform. We built Command around Gary's proven laws of lead generation. Build a database, feed it daily, and communicate with it systematically. It's all about being more human, more often, with more people. We want you to thrive in this market and capture your unfair share of every market. That's why we help you generate more leads for less. Using Command, you can upload your contacts and start a high-impact marketing campaign without spending a dime. You can run targeted ads across media channels, including Google, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok with just one login. In Command, you can create one-off listing campaigns or always-on recruitment programs with push-button ease. No marketing expertise required. You'll do in 9 minutes what used to take 9 hours. And at less than $3 a lead, you'll pay a fraction of what everyone else in the industry is paying. Save time, save money. Sold. Like we said, we're serious about helping you thrive. For streamlined lead gen, it's all right there. Friends, it's time for you to take command. Jason Abrams here. Everyone knows that I love to talk. It's a gift, but I also love to listen. We're having conversations with the best and the busiest. The biggest personalities making the biggest impact. The craziest and the coolest. It's about passion, strategy, and above all, it's about real, tangible success. This is the Millionaire Real Estate Agent Podcast, available anywhere you get your podcasts.
you very much. We appreciate all the efforts. I know it's been flooded in the other areas, but still you're here to join us. However, we will guarantee that your time here will not be wasted.
The world is changing globally in terms of the real estate landscape. So
I think we can all agree that change has happened in countries and many industries, and usually the way that change happens is by leadership. Someone has a vision for things to be done a different way and to lead. Really, the mindsets of Keller Williams, I think, is what that leadership demonstrates, and then the agents are then able to model and follow.
The world wants to complicate everything, including our industry. But what I love that you really clarify for me is that this business is ultimately pretty simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. But if we put a person, a tool, or a system in place in our lead generation, person or tool or a system, or even all three in our lead follow-up, so it's systematic and it's always happening, then the ironic thing is that the service of your actual clients goes up. And then you know the business is coming because that's the engine.
In the past, I wasn't really purposeful much. I actually perform or do on a daily basis. But now, since I'm more purposeful, I know at what point be able to hit capper status.
So basically, you are now running a predictive business model.
Yes, that's correct.
Finding a real estate company that could back you up, it will be the most important decision that you would ever make in your entire life.
You don't feel that emotion, you don't feel that inspiration. It's not only that you feed your mind, but then after you finish that conference, you so fed your soul.
Leader is hard. This is what I learned. How can you help? It's not to get angry, it's not get emotion. It's just like you know your own mission and you know your goal. And we are just together equally to make it happen. And good morning and happy Easter to everyone. Yesterday, I hope you had a very relaxing but meaningful vacation. I'll be here today. See, Jonathan is I don't know where Jonathan is right now. I think he's in Korea or somewhere else flying, but he'll be joining us on the 28th. So for now, we had a very good feedback about the topic last week. No, it was very relevant. I got feedback even from the chairman of PRBRES and requested for a copy of that. I got requests from San Francisco. I got requests from New York and Chicago.
from Filipinos there who are not even aware that it is possible for their clients to now borrow or to get financing for Philippine properties from the banks doon sa kanila. So for those who missed that episode, you can just go to our Facebook and then review that. And then I think si who's this? Hannah can also share the link to the YouTube channel that she created, to the YouTube video that she created for that purpose. So now we were thinking about a topic, a very, very timely topic now, no? About, because I'm sure you've been reading about this headlines recently. No, not recently, but actually since January, about what's happening in the market. And in my travels, I've been getting all this feedback about what's happening in the real estate market, what's happening to the real estate market in the Philippines right now, and is it still safe to invest? So that is what we're going to discuss today. And the good thing here is, I think, do we have any non-Filipinos here? So we can speak. Any? Raise your hand. Okay, just let me share my screen now. Okay, can you see my screen? Hannah, can you see my screen? Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, so this is going to be something very, very interesting for everyone today. And we're going to have this, we're going to have a little bit more time in the end for your Q&As, okay? So let's begin. Question is, why are the developers moving to the other regions outside Metro Manila? Of course, here in the Philippines, right? Okay. Sorry about that. For the past few weeks, for the past few months, we've been seeing all this headlines. Some headlines, some picked up headlines, some were just from the authors or from reporters who may have misinterpreted or may have just picked up the most sensational phrase or the most sensational line in a full report, and that is what really sells in your newspaper, right? So this is what they had. And what is confusing is, look at these different headlines. This one says it's 29 months, and then Condo Glut, 67,000 units waiting for buyers. And then, of course, Metro Manila to struggle with rising residential vacancy levels. And then, And then sometime in March, he said, okay, Metro Manila oversupply offers opportunities, which is actually true because in every crisis there is an opportunity. Depends on whether you want to buy. You are now in the market to buy or own your very own property and want to look at good bargains, maybe get very low down payment, move in. So these are opportunities for a different type of market. But for now, I think we will be talking about investors who intend to generate either cash flow or looking at capital appreciation in a manageable term, because not everybody can hold for a long term, right? So recently, last March, Rappler said it may take 8 years. Imagine, before it started off with 36 months and then 39 months, and then 5 years was reported by another consultancy company as early as May last year, which is actually just a report. And then they debunked this. Now, this is what makes it really objective. They have specifically pinpointed that these are submarkets in specific areas and also in condominiums at a certain segment. Okay, that's the way you should be. That's the way you should be sharing that with your clients, no? Because the newspaper, the headline says real estate recession. There's a glut. There's an oversupply of condominiums in the Philippines. You see, very, very wrong. So this one, you pick this up. It's a submarket in certain areas, only in condominiums for a specific submarket, for a specific sector. Well, that should qualify that better. Now, you will also notice in the recent report of Litsu that this is the recent study of about 81 or almost 82,000 units available supply in over 600 buildings. But it will also show which areas are really affected. You see, Makati was not as wild in terms of constructing new developments from 2017 to 2019. Of course, there were very few available lots for development, but what the area that really became very, very active during that period from 2016, 2017 to about 2020 was the Bay Area. See, this is the reason why we have the biggest vacancy, and we all know why. You know, the Pogo offices moved there, and together with the Pogo offices, of course, was the demand for residential. But one thing that people didn't really realize is that even if they did not leave, even if the COVID did not happen, quietly, this companies, this other Chinese developers are building a lot of units outside or just parallel to the Bay Area. You have the Tambo, you have the Harrison, and you have the fringes of, let's say, Bacoor, which is also a very short drive to the Bay Area where they have their offices, and you just have those vans going in and out. Why? Because prices of condominiums in the Bay Area has been very, very high already. Rentals has been very high. So they're moving up to these areas and have prices at less than half of what the Bay Area is offering. And I'm talking about residential properties, because the Bay Area will always be what? It's an entertainment city. This is where you have, it's a tourist oriented city. If your project is tourist oriented and can contribute to the hotel rooms, which is very much in demand and still lacking at the moment, then you can still make good money on short-term rentals.
But long-term residential rentals, right now, I think it is almost impossible to make money. So this is why you see you had very limited launches last year. Very limited launches actually for the past 3 years. But what's happening is that there are a lot of developers, the major ones are launching projects outside the regions, and this is what we're talking about. And the report, this report only covers the areas of Metro Manila. See, but what is really noisy and what's really exciting is what's happening in the other regions outside Metro Manila, and even if you want to go further, in the other regions of the Philippines, in the south, way down south, Cebu and Davao. Okay. Again, this one just popped up a few weeks ago, 8.2 years. And then meron na naman, April 8, 38 months. So where are these people getting their data? Or nire-rehash na lang nila. So what's true? 38, 60, 8.2 years. But what we're going to talk about today is that what is the real reason why these developers are moving outside Metro Manila? Is it just because may oversupply here in Metro Manila? Is it just because there's a glut? Is it just because rentals are going down? Is it just because the vacancy is going very high? Or is there really, or have they really missed the true market, the real market all this time? Because the developers outside, and I know a lot of them, have been making very, very good sales in the other regions for the past 4 or 5 years, and even during the worst time of the pandemic, because they were serving the right market, doing the right project, and offering it at the right price. Okay, and targeting the real market. And they have already seen this, and this is what we're going to discuss today. And it's not just going to be all residential. You will see why our demographics dictate the real demand for the type of project that you can either, here, if you're listening as a developer, you can either develop, or as a seller, you can focus on. But in terms of general health of the economy, we've been through worse times. We've been through the worst challenges. We're like cockroaches. We're very resilient. The Philippine market has been one of the most resilient markets in the world. We've been through the most difficult domestic, local, or international, or global financial crisis, and we're still growing. We're still growing. Major reason for this is this. You can just, I will not expound on this anymore to save time, but you can just do the screenshot. But you see, our population has the sexiest demographic profile in the world right now. Our median age, I'm sure you've heard this over and over again, 25 people are surprised with that 25-year median age. So what? I'll show you why it is very important. GDP growth has been very, very stable. And the point here is that you have to find out where the regional GDP growth is moving. This is the reason why the developers are following that. Remittances has been very stable. Credit rating is very good. Unemployment rate is lowest in 21 years. Okay, and if you compare this, well, you can also screenshot this one. If you compare this, this also shows our edge over our neighboring countries. Okay, so I will not expound on this anymore. We'll focus directly mamaya dun sa region, sa growth and regions. But this one, what we'd like to emphasize here is that no matter who, since 2011, no matter who was ruled or doesn't matter what administration, we were consistently growing. We were actually growing at an average rate of about 6% since 2011, regardless of who was the president, and no matter how much they love each other, right? FDIs were now hitting, we're now performing very well. Even I think we're going to exceed the pre-pandemic levels. Ito pa, the GDP growth rate, of course, in 2020, we know this, and we've experienced a 2020 dip, but we were one of the fastest in the world when we recovered. Why? Because our economic fundamentals was very, very strong and stable. Okay, ito na. Just look at this one. The GDP and the growth rate by regions. This will show you why the developers are moving in different regions. Of course, what they want to see is not just to get out of Metro Manila, but to go where there is a market. When you say there's a market, is there enough population there? Okay. Okay. Is the population enough? It depends. What kind of population is there? Is it too old? Is it too young? Or is it the buying population? Is it the employed population? Is it the productive population? This is what they're looking for. So, okay, there's population. But are there jobs? Are there opportunities? Are there progressive industries? Is there commerce in that area? They will check the growth rate of the GDP also. And who are the people who are there? Okay. Are they productive? Is there money there? Is there a reason for them to go there? So yun yung tinitignan nila. And then if all this shows up in their study, then they move or they take a closer look in those regions. Of course, not everyone is still remembers their what's this? Social studies, no? Okay. So just a review, we don't have to master all the regions, but for now we'll focus on, of course, NCR, Region 4A, Calabarzon, and Region 3, because these are the regions that you might want to really take a closer look on. Then Region 7 and 6, okay, you have the Western Visayas and then the Central Visayas, and then the 10, 11, the Davao and Northern Region. I'm not saying that you forget about the other regions, because if you can hold longer, then you can find also a lot of opportunities in the other regions. So what's important is always consider that the real estate is a long-term investment and a long-term commitment. So it depends on how long you can hold your investment. Number two, you have to know what's going to happen there. Okay. And I will share with you later what contributes to the what affects the growth of those specific areas. So the GDP growth of real estate, again, you will see NCR 3, 4A, 6, 7, 10, 11 at different paces, but it shows the growth. So you can watch out for these areas and check out the developers. Where are they developing? Also in these areas. Their growth in some areas, and there's still a lot of opportunities for them to buy good property, good price property, but there is a market. What's important is there a market in those areas? Okay, again, even during after the pandemic, all these regions grew. Now, what are the factors that affect real estate values? This is one of the main reasons, one of the main factors. Three main factors that they're looking at when they're considering moving or developing in those areas. Of course, infrastructure. Meron na ba? Is there already a major infrastructure going there? And it doesn't only take roads, but also the other other utilities. Now, of course, infrastructure. Right now, I travel a lot, both globally and internationally. And in our company, we check out a lot of projects, a lot of properties, and we've seen a lot. Yesterday, was it yesterday? No, Saturday. I just went to check out another property in Cavite, and we were able to pass through several new bypass roads, new highways. Some are still just about to open. Okay. So, infrastructure, very, very important. Where the roads are leading, check out those properties and the developers. Most of the developers actually have already positioned in those areas, even when the roads are being built. You see, in real estate, you do not use your site as a real estate practitioner and as a real estate investor or as a real estate developer. Do not use your site. Use your vision. What is going to happen to this area? So important thing is chismis, or important thing is to get inside or advanced information. Know what's happening. Know what's going to happen there. Know the plans. These developers have good ears, and they check out the city planning officials on what's going to happen there. See, and then it is about positioning. If you think the best time to invest is when there's already everything there, then price may be too high already, and it's already kind of matured. But if you really want to make the most, position. It's always positioning. And then connectivity. Before it was a challenge to have this connections because we were relying on cable. Us, for example, we were having a challenge in convincing the telcos to get into the development that we were doing, because there were only about 21 houses in a subdivision. So they want volume. And then here's this God set Starlink, which happened about 2 years ago. And now you don't need cabling. We have very good internet, and it's just plug and play, and anywhere you are with open areas. See, that one also affected real estate properties, because before, now people can work wherever they are. They can be productive wherever they are. Okay, so very, very important. So this actually, infrastructure with connectivity gave values to even the remote, formerly remote places. And then e-commerce, logistics. See, things, deliveries, these are things that we enjoy now every day, and it's just getting better and better. Now, for the developers, who's going to buy their properties? Is there enough market? Who's the market? Is there enough size? Can they afford it? What will be their reason for buying? What will be their reason for buying? See, so urban growth population, Filipino expat remittances, and BPO workforce. Of course, there are other drivers, but these are the three main demand drivers if you are in the mainstream of real estate development. So with our population, we are in the demographic sweet. We have that demographic sweet spot now. And if you notice, the population from 0 to 4 is already not shrinking, but prudently growing. Unlike before, we have a very big base. The 0 to 4, 0 to 9, this is the most expensive. They're not contributing, but the working class is spending a lot on them. But now this age group, where 64% or 64 million are in the workforce. The 20 to 40 years old is about 42 million already, and it's going to expand until 2032. So, which means that's a very, very, very big market also for rentals, for domestic tourism, which is very, very important. And that's the most mobile age bracket. And you see the young people growing or moving to that workforce. We only have less than 3% dipping from the pension fund. So that means we have more people contributing to the economy than people dipping from the system. Okay, population has been prudently growing. Now, saan meron growing population? Going back, NCR, Region 3, Region 4A, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12 is also growing. But then you see the people growing there. But then you will ask, okay, ano ba yan? Is it because they're reproducing faster than, are they reproducing faster than the other areas? Are they making more babies in those areas? Or are productive people moving there? Check this out. The ages 25 to 64 are the ones growing in those areas. These are the people who have jobs, who are productive, who are contributing, who can buy those properties. So there's your market. That age, that's the fastest growing age in those areas. Again, NCR 3, 4A, 6, 7, 10, 11. See, also by age groups. So this explains why these are the most dense regions. Again, where you have population, you have the demand for real estate. But the key in real estate is knowing where the people are going and getting there first. Okay, so if you're a developer, position there. If you're a real estate marketer, develop or build your networks in those areas. Okay, so you see that golden age of 25 to 64 productive age, and actually now you will notice, and we just closed, I think we already have 3 buyers from our project who are below 25 years old, and these are not even the Pogos. I'm not talking about Pogos. These are Filipinos below 25 years old who have already bought properties from us at below 25 years old. But these properties at around 10 million, which was never heard during my time. No, so see, younger people are getting more productive. They're more creative. They're more entrepreneurial. Now, let's talk of the Filipino expats. OFW has been very, very consistent in sending their remittances even during the worst times, even during the pandemic. Some developers, two in particular, have made their record sales during the worst lockdown. Why? Because they were able to capture this market. I'm calling them the Filipino expats, no? Filipino expats. So, even during the worst time in 2020, their remittances did not even dip by 1%. Okay, and then still continue to grow. Now it's about 38 billion. Important thing is, okay, so what if they're remitting? As a developer or as a marketing, you have to find out where these people are coming from, because these people will be reinvesting or investing in their specific particular regions as a priority. So where are they coming from? Again, 4A, 3, they're for the past 4 years, yan, 15, 16, 16, 17. But the two major regions are the major source ng OFWs. So, where do you think they will be investing again? Pabalik din sa kanila. And more than 60% nandun na sa southern part. So, now you also know why the developers in that area is doing extremely well. Okay. Now go for the age group. So knowing this demographic knows what type of projects you'll be building. Now this also explains why even if close to 600,000 of Ws were repatriated during the lockdown, the remittances did not really plunge, or it did not affect this particular market of real estate, because about 44% are in elementary occupations, and this maybe bago lang doon or maybe lack of skill, but these are the people who are making around 18 to 22,000. So they're not yet the market for real estate. They're not yet putting a dent in the investment aspect. So when they were the ones also who were repatriated immediately during that time. So but the professionals, the upper management were the people in the Medicare were the ones also bringing in bigger bucks, and they're the ones also investing in real estate. Most of them are in the 2 to 3 hour areas around Metro Manila. So now you know where to reach them, so you will see a lot of developers now back to doing their international roadshows, although with a different style now, with a different system now, because they've learned about the tricks of some of their agents, okay, playing with budgets. So now they've learned, and they know now how to reach this areas, where to reach them, how to reach them. Another market is this the BPO workforce. They've grown consistently. If you noticed, even during 2020, super slight dip. It did not go negative, but they just still grew, but at a very at a lower pace. But they still grew, which means whether it's going to be a global crisis, whether if it's a crisis or expansion, this outsourcing industry is poised to grow different rates now. But the interesting thing is that when the president of the association told us about the expansion and the direction, he said that about 60% of these people will be moving out. Because, of course, you already have infrastructure, you have entertainment, and you already have the connectivity. There are a lot of data centers also being built in those other areas. So I asked them, where are they heading? Can you give me a tip? He just said, follow the talent. Follow the talent. This providers will look for areas where there's talent. The talent close to their regions, a talent close to their areas. So you will see growth in these areas. You see areas, check out areas where you have very good very good educational institutions that can provide the talents for these BPOs. And then you will see developers also following that direction. Now, very, very exciting is tourism. Tourism has been growing. Okay, so no, we did not hit our target. We were targeting 8 million last tier, but we did not hit it. I think we hit only about 5.6, 5.4, which is true. We were targeting the 9 million pre-pandemic. We did not hit it. However, just check out. We hit. We broke the record. The tourism industry broke the record in terms of tourism revenues. We did not hit the number of foreign arrivals, but we broke the record in terms of tourism revenues. See, what does that mean and why? They said mainly because about almost 92% of our tourism revenues now come from domestic tourism. We have a very strong domestic tourism industry. In fact, this association, the ASEAN's Association of Tourism, said the Philippines has the strongest domestic tourism market in Southeast Asia. The good thing about that is that we are not too dependent. Of course, we want to have these foreign tourists, but the good thing is that we have a very stable and steady domestic tourism industry. So what does that mean? Again, as a developer, look at this market. Where is this market? How much can this market afford? What does this market want? These are the young people. The young people now are investing in experience, not only being Instagrammable, but of course experience that they share. Okay, so in terms of domestic, in terms of tourism, we still have the two more consistent tourists, and vacation rentals is growing not only in the Philippines. I just came from my talk in Nashville, and the different countries, the representatives of the different countries also share their experience about their growing tourism industries. And more so in the Philippines, but what makes us different is that we have, again, a very strong domestic tourist industries. So if your areas are drivable, maybe where is the market? I've shown you already where the population is. I've shown you already where that age group of population is. So where are the areas that is within drivable distance from this market, so they can go there on impulse within maybe 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours. Longer than that, we'll need a longer plan. No? If your property, if your project is within 2 to 3 hour driving distance, areas like, let's say, the beautiful areas like El Nido, Siargao, Palawan, very, very good, very nice areas, some of my favorites. But in terms of, let's say, the size of the market, one very important is that is it subject to what's this, inclement weather? So the thing is that how consistent will be your development? Can your target market reach that regardless of the weather? Do they have to fly? Are you also sensitive to negative advisories from the different countries? So that's the other setback. If you're too focus on the foreign tourists, no. So the most important thing as an investor, as a developer, is that do you have a sustainable market? Okay, and then you think of projects that can that this market can afford, wherein your investors can also make money on short-term rentals. Okay, so this is where it shows. See, Now, by region, where are they? NCR 3, 4A, because 4, but the thing is that 4A 3 is going to catch up also, because once you see the Clark International Airport is continuously improving. It has been voted as one of the most beautiful airports. They're increasing the number of flights there as well. And then by 2028 you'll have that that link, that rail link. They said 2028 is the target. And you can see it when you go there, the construction of the Manila North-South railway system is moving. It's really moving. Okay. And just last week, the third phase of the funding has been approved also for the Malolos Clark part. So again, in terms of tourism, these are areas that you could take a look at. Why? This is the reason why you see developers, you see the Ayala development, Ayala, Megaworld, DMCI have been moving to areas where there is a demand for domestic tourism. Region 4A, Region 3, Region 6 and 7, also in Davao. But for us, Luzon, these are the areas that you should look at. Okay, accommodation services is there's a huge demand. And I just forgot to share the slide wherein we have a shortage of over 157,000 rooms. Sun, beaches, islands. This is also what makes Region 4A very interesting. The sun, beaches, island. We have the mountains. We have the mountains. We have the views. We have the nice weather. We have the beaches. We have dive spots. We have the golf courses. Now, one thing also that you've noticed is that there is a very good potential for the Philippines to draw crowds just the way that Bali or maybe Thailand is getting their clients, or Malaysia. They came out with very strong and very aggressive marketing. You see, this is just about the perfect time. If they did this marketing, aggressive marketing 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and we are not ready, our infrastructure was not ready, our telecommunication was not ready, our airport was not ready, what do you think would have happened? They will be marketing it, and then people will be coming just to get frustrated, and I don't think they will be coming back. But now we are ready. The airports we have much nicer airports now. I don't know when was the last time you went to Neo 1, 2, and 3, or Clark Airport, or the Cebu Airport, and we have airports now in Bohol. I think I saw the other day that there's even Iloilo. Iloilo now has a direct flight from Singapore. We have more international airports now. So tourism roads are also in place. We have connectivity now. We have the airports, and we are now ready to embark on a more aggressive tourism campaign. While the other tourist destinations in the other Southeast Asian regions are experiencing, what do you call it? Over-tourism. While they're experiencing over-tourism, we are preparing to welcome them. And imagine, if people have been going back to those places time and again, now is a time for them to experience the Philippines in a more comfortable, in a more convenient manner. In fact, this did not miss the attention of the giants. The big players are looking at the Philippines now to expand their their operations. So there, I hope I was able to share with you the reason why the move from the speculative buying that happened in some areas, in some segments in Metro Manila, in the residential condominium, which led to the artificial demand, led to the attention now being directed towards the other regions. Okay. So, intentionally, I did not assist, did some engagement during the presentation. Otherwise, this will be very, very long. So now I'm open to answer a couple of questions. We still have about 12 minutes. Yes, were you able to get some value with that short presentation? Maybe type 1 in your chat. Thank you. Thank you. Any questions? Or do you have any other inputs on why do you think people are moving or the developers are moving to the other regions aside from these things that I have mentioned? Yes, pandemic gave insight to the population to move to the provinces. Very true. In fact, during the pandemic, people have a renewed appreciation of the things that we take for granted. Who was the most important people who had to go out during that time? Aside from the medical people, aside from the nurses, the garbage people. Imagine if they were not collecting the garbage that we were piling up every day. The whole place will be stinking during those 2 years that we were in lockdown. The appreciation for fresh air, the appreciation for natural sunlight, natural ventilation, the appreciation for the efficient e-commerce, the e-commerce logistics, right? We have discovered all our talents. A lot of people who were not cooking suddenly became bakers ng mga ube cake or malunggay cake or baked sushi. And they've discovered that the most important skill is selling. Those people who were not, who always try to, parang, oh, I don't know how to sell, I don't know how to sell. Suddenly, they realize that they can do selling. The appreciation of open air, the appreciation of outdoor activities, the appreciation of private amenities. You have very nice pools, you have very nice gyms, but you cannot use them. The appreciation of low density projects. With this situation of oversupply, what do we do now with our recent listing of sellers of pre-owned condos? And since developers are moving outside, and we are Metro Manila based, how to be able to effectively sell away from these areas. Okay. We are in sales. We are all in sales. And the market, there's always a shift. There's always a shift. You can be creative in doing and maybe repurposing the property that you're selling. You can target a different market, or you can shift your sales, just like let me sailboat. If the wind is coming from a different direction, then adjust your sales. So you can adjust your sales. We cannot just be very stubborn and ito lang binibenta ko eh. Ito lang binibenta ko eh. So I won't move until magbago yung market. It's up to us. I'll give an example. During the pandemic, we were locked down. We were locked down. We were not able to do viewings. The PMOs were not allowing viewings. They were not allowing outsiders to check out the units. But you can be creative. I asked let's say before somebody wanted me to list their unit, I asked them to take a video or photos of their unit. You just have to give them direction, clean them up, and then send to you. So you now have the materials to use for your marketing. We were asked to market 2 remote projects, one in Tagaytay, another one in Batangas, but trippings were not allowed. So we engaged the services of an expert drone operator, and then we did a very creative type of presentation where it is just like a tripping, and all the units are identified and labeled, so you don't even have to go through, or you don't even have to go to do your actual tripping. And when there was a tripping, since you're just both in the car, we provided them with a walkie-talkie, or you can use your phone. So while you're driving, you're in constant communication, and you don't have to ride in their car. You don't have to ride in your car. Okay. Now, during that time, the demand was more for landed properties outside Metro Manila. You've heard that properties in West Grove, Punta Fuego have gone up 100, 200, 300%. See, you shift with the market. Yes, we have listings here. Now, when there are property owners who want me to list their properties, then I ask them, if you can hold on to this for a couple of years more, then better. But at this time, we cannot get your price. You can get this at your price, whether to sell or to rent out. Maybe they can take the hit. Now, I was asking them, where's your agent who sold you this property? They couldn't find those agents because those agents were kicked out from those developers. See, the important thing now as a seller or as a developer is know where the market is. Now, you ask, how are you able to effectively sell if we are away from this? So how can you effectively sell when you're away from these areas? There's already the internet. The developers are providing you with collaterals, with materials to use for your marketing. And then there's the Zoom, there's the videos, there's a virtual walkthroughs, there's a virtual tours. There are a lot of ways now that you can do, so you can have actually even live trippings. I'll give you an example. So we also have virtual tours, virtual walkthroughs, we have flip books. And if your client if you want to view it, either you go to the site and take Just like the other day, they did a Zoom meeting while the agent was there at the site and doing the tripping while the client is in Canada. So you can do that as well. Developers are simply escaping. Oh, good question. Are the developers simply escaping the Metro Manila's congestion, or they see the South as a next economic powerhouse? Actually, very good question. That's the main reason of our title. It's not just escaping. You don't have to escape because there are also several sub-markets that can still make money in Metro Manila. Like, for example, if your property is ideal for short-term leasing, is it in an area where you have high volume of tourists? Is your property really designed and conceptualized for short-term rentals? Or is it inside a development where short-term rentals is prohibited? So it's difficult to do short-term rentals there. So there's still a lot of opportunities in certain submarkets, in certain sectors, and price points here in Metro Manila. But yes, the reason why the developers are moving towards the other areas, not just in the south, but also in the north, is that there is a market. There's a market maybe for end user, maybe for investors, and investors, especially in short-term rentals. There's a market. Main reason why they are moving there, because if they just escape without knowing who's going to buy, then that's a big gamble. That's suicide. If some people move outside Metro Manila, will the condo supply continue to adapt? Or if you notice, the condo launches here in Metro Manila has slowed down, but the good developers are already launching projects in the fringes, not in the center, but they're already targeting the real market with the real need, where you have the population who can absorb that, and not speculative buying, and at the right price. At the right price, you can still make money in terms of rentals, whether short-term or long-term rentals. At the right price, you can still make money on capital appreciation if you resell it, if you get it at the right price. And well-defined location. Slow down. Is a slowdown in condo selling only for pre-selling projects or developers? How about? Oh, actually, the slowdown now is in the launches of new projects in Metro Manila, but the supply is practically in the RFO market because they're expecting about, for 2025, they're expecting an additional supply of about 8,400 units na RFO that will be completed within the year. So again, that will add up to the inventory in the market. So it's not only the good thing now, nag-slow down to yung new supply until we absorb. You see, there's a production, there's an absorption cycle. This happened actually in 2020, 14, 2015. You see the cancellation rates of the developers during that time was about 48 to 52%. Good thing, 2015, 2016, nandun na nagkaroon ng culture ng the faster pace of BPO and the culture of co-sharing. People were already splitting, sharing one room, and then there was a co-development, and there was not co-development, the co-living. So the trust issues were already resolved. So people were already comfortable in splitting the rentals and sharing rooms, sharing common areas, so that they can save, they can network, they can socialize. So, and then 2016, 2017, here comes the pogo. They came by the tens of thousands. So it absorbed the oversupply. There was an oversupply already in about 2015. But some people just don't learn. This is the reason why in 2018 there was a Japanese company who consulted us, who wanted to build a project in a specific area. I will not mention anymore. So we told them that, okay, the growth in this area is already very artificial. The purchases were speculative, a lot of bulk sales. So we advised them against it, and they're very thankful. Okay, so it's 10:03 a.m. It's 10:03. Again, I hope you like the topic today, and I hope it will help you now in directing your sales, your maybe as a developer, your search for new projects, the type of projects, and the maybe especially even your pricing. At the end of the day, it is very important. The buyers have to make money. The buyers have to make money. Investors will have to make money, whether they're foreign or local. See, otherwise you might make money now, but then nobody will buy from you again. Investors will have to make money. Buyers will have to make money. Okay. So, again, thank you very much. If you have another topic before we continue the lead generation series, we still have next Monday because Jonathan will be still out by next Monday. Just let me know. Just let me know, and we will discuss that next Monday. And if we need to invite a person, a resource person for that, whether local or international speaker, just let me know, and we will make it happen. Okay, so again, thank you very much. I hope we were all renewed after this cleansing exercise during the Holy Week. New power, new energy, new blessing, and with this new learning, I hope you will have this is a new tool to reach your targets. Okay. Now, Hannah, do you have any announcements that you would like to flash? Hannah, do you have any?
As of now, wala po, sir.
Okay. So, again, thank you very much and have a great week ahead. Bye-bye.